All right, Shalom. Welcome back to the second half. I just sent it. So now we at chapter 14 in the Apocrypha. All right, so we're gonna get started. You got the link? Yeah. Bear with us for a moment. We're waiting for the link to be sent out to everybody so we can start with the live stream. Try. No. Yeah, it takes a while sometimes. Shalom. Welcome back. Getting ready to start again. All right, so we're gonna start chapter 14. This is now in the 103 score in 12 year. Demetrius, 103 score. How many is that? Now in the 103 score in 20 year. A score is 20. A score is 20. 162. Right? So it's 100 and then 3 score. Each score is 20. And then 3 score and 20. 3 score in 12th year. Now in the 120 score in 12th year, 72nd, so 72, 172. Now in the 103 score in 12th year, King Demetrius gathered his force together and went into Media to get him help to fight against Tryphon. So now King Demetrius will Simon make a league of friendship with. Now he's ready to fight Tryphon. Remember, Tryphon killed Jonathan, Simon's son. Simon's brother. So now Simon did what he had to do, and the country was at peace. So now let's see what happened with Demetrius. But when Artaxerxes, the king of Persia and Media, heard that Demetrius was entered within his borders, he sent one of his princes to take him alive. Now we have the king Xerxes of Persia and Media. He heard that Demetrius invaded his country. So not his territory, put it this way. So he sent one of his generals to take him alive. So let's see, in verse 3 now. Who went and smote the host of Demetrius and took him and brought him to Artaxerxes, by whom he was put inward, right? So it was inward, right? Put in prison. So now, in verse 4, and for the land of Judea, that was quiet all the days of Simon. So Simon did what he had to do, and of Simon's rulership, everybody was at peace. Right? When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. The land was quiet. All the days of Simon. For he sought the good of his nation in such wise as that evermore his authority and honor pleased them well. Right? So he did what he had to do. Make sure that everybody was at peace, give them what they wanted, make sure everybody keep the law, everybody keep, the holy days. He protect us, the Most High protects us from evil. Let's go to Second Thessalonians. Second Thessalonians 3:3. Can you please read that? Second Thessalonians 3 and verse 3.
And that we may be delivered from unreasonable and wicked men, for all men have not faith.
Okay. So the Most High protected us from wicked men. So the land was quiet while Simon was ruling. John 17:15. St. John 17 and verse 15.
Can we read that?
Con.
John 17:15. I pray not that thou shouldest take them out, but that thou shouldest keep them from the evil.
Okay. We were in the kingdom, or the Simon was actually in the world, right? Meaning in the world of the Most High, but amongst everybody else. But he made sure that through his dealing of righteousness, the people was kept from evil all the day of Simon. Just as right now we are part of the world, right? But we are not in the world, meaning what they do, right? Because if somebody see us now out there, they consider us part of everybody. But we know that we are not in the world. I mean, we're not part of the dealings of this world. But as a whole, we are in the world. We are, we part of what's going on. but our dealings is not in the world setup, right? Right. So that's Yahushua speaking. Read the 16th verse. The same John 17. Read the 16 now.
They are not of the world, even as I am not of the world.
Right. So we are not of the world. We live in the world, but we are not of the world. That's why somebody may say, man, if you, what kind of world you talking about, huh? Because you in the same thing just like everybody else, right? But we are not of the world. We are amongst everybody in the world, but we are not of the world. Just like Yahushua was not of the world. Even I am not of the world. So when we pray, we say, our Father which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debt as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. While we are in the world, deliver us from evil of the world. As we step out the door, deliver us from evil of the world. But yet physically we are still in the world. We are part of the world. Right? Very important to make that distinction. Verse 4, back to the Apocrypha. Verse 5, actually. And as he was honorable in all his act. So he was honorable, not just in word, but in action. In action, he was honorable. He was honorable in all his acts. So in this, that he took Joppa for an haven and made an entrance to the island of the sea. So he took Joppa as a harbor, right? As a harbor, to open a way of the island of the sea. Very important, because sea is we travel from places to places, mostly, right? Maritime. Now we travel to sea and also airplane. Because of cars, now we travel terrestrial. So inland and air. Those are the means of traveling. But mostly back then, everything dealings with other countries mostly is done through sea. Commerce. The iPhone that we are using. The bulk of it come on ships. All the big trades that is being done on the sea. Right? Everything that's being done on the sea. I'm studying something on scriptures. Hopefully, we do a class on the sea, how vast it is, and it's connected to every country. Just imagine that, right? The sea connected, every country is connected somehow, some way with the to the sea to be able to do commerce, right? So the world economic structure is governed by maritime, you know, dealings, right? So a lot of people who know stuff in this world, there's a lot of things going on in the sea. A lot of wicked stuff going on at the bottom of the sea, right? One of the giant sea creatures that the Most High will get rid of, Leviathan, is going to come from the sea, right? So a lot of things going on, right? In terms of commerce, how everything is being done today, the sea play a big role in it, even before we do things through the air, right? That's why people were dealing in other thing, they go at the bottom of the sea to do some, wicked stuff.
Research.
Money to get money.
It's called research.
Yeah, they call research and that thing, right?
Research.
Right?
Science.
Science.
Yeah.
All right, so he used that as a harbor, right, to open, or as an opening to the island of the sea. Because if you're gonna be a governor, you're gonna be dealing with other people. You have to have ways of. You have to have a port where merchandise can be delivered. Okay. In verse 6, and enlarge the bounds of his nation and recover the country, right? And we covered the country and enlarge the bound of his nation. See, he enlarged the bound of his nation. How you enlarge the bound of your nation? Through involving with different dealings with other people. See, now when you have stability, you can make progress. To make development, economic development, you have to have stability. All throughout the chapters we were reading, it was about fighting wars and things like that. So there weren't any stability in Israel. We were all constantly fighting some enemy. But now when there's stability, the land is quiet, now you can focus on other things, which is economic development. That's why right now we're in captivity. As much as people know we got to involve in economic activity, we got so much problem, we cannot even focus on no economics. Like little stuff that we cannot get a hold of, let alone sit it around and talk big business and economics and things like that. When you have bills to pay, you barely can pay your bills. What kind of economic? You worry about your own home economics, right? What matters your own home economics? I mean, economics is just a fancy way of saying, budgeting your stuff and take care of your home. It's a fancy way of doing it, of saying it. But economics is about you, how you manage your stuff. Sometimes we can barely manage our own stuff, so we cannot even get our mind focused on other big things. But now you see right here, there was stability, there was quiet, and then because of that, now he can focus on other things, right? Instead of just fighting people here and there. When you're not fighting people, now you got to involve in progress. So now you open the harbor and use the harbor so he can enlarge his nation, right? Because now people can buy this, buy that. They can sit back and enjoy what you. But if you're fighting, that your mind is far away from that. You're not really thinking about it. You're thinking about surviving. You know, if you're gonna die tomorrow, who's gonna come attack you and things like that, right? So now that's why it makes sense when if we make it all the way into the kingdom, you have time now to relax, to kick back and enjoy the feast. This feast is coming up. You got to go up because, you know, you're not worrying about, you know, bills. You know, you're not worried about the piper. You know, you got to pay the piper. You know, you're not worrying about it. Now you have time to really enjoy, understand what life is all about. But right now, our mind is anxious. Even though the Most High said he got our back, but sometimes it seems like, man, you know.
Like what I said earlier, I saw IOIC is putting out their Passover already. You know? They're putting out the information and all that stuff out there.
Right.
People can prepare. You know?
Right, prepare way ahead of time. Yeah. Okay, so let's go to verse 7 now. And gather together a great number of captive, and had the dominion of Gazara and Bethsura, and the tower out of the out of the which he took all uncleanness, neither was there any that resisteth him. Then did they till their ground in peace. See, they till their ground in peace. Time to grow stuff. Agriculture. See, activities going on right now. Like now it's developing. So we tilled our ground in peace. Then did they till their ground in peace. So now you see, as we read on, you till the ground in peace. And check this out. And the earth gave her increase, and the trees of the field their fruits. The ground gave increase, and the fruit there, you know, and then the plant, trees, any plant that bear fruit, even the land was happy under an inhabitant thereof. Get the scripture and think for me out. They're found under the inhabitants thereof. It's in Isaiah. The earth mourning now. The earth mourning under here, under the inhabitant here. Now we got to force feed the earth with fertilizers, pesticides.
Force it to grow.
Force it to go fast.
Grow.
Fast. Because it's about speed. Need for speed. Overnight, you got to eat bananas. Apples.
Chicken got to grow big.
Chicken got to go big. Fast and big. By the time we figured out that this what's killing us, you've been here so many years, you're getting a slow kill. Right? You got it, Yaokanan? What's your comment? What's your comment?
No, I was just thinking about what you said. I seen a turkey on TV. He was at least this big. He was running on the highway.
Right.
He was running on the highway. And he was trying to get away from perhaps the people that would kill him. And he ran out on the highway. He was a big old bird. Right there, come on.
A bird?
Yeah, it was a turkey. Running on the highway. He was trying to get away.
That's good. You gotta be. It's good to eat. Psalms 24:1. The earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof.
Psalms
24:1.
Uh-huh.
My favorite in the morning.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, Psalms 24:1. The earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof, the world and they that dwell therein.
Mm-hmm. Now, actually, the one that I wanted in Isaiah, it says, "The earth is defiled under the inhabitant thereof, the earth mourning." The earth is in mourning. Let me see if I can get it real fast. If you get it before me, that's cool too.
Isaiah 33:9.
Yep, Isaiah 33:9. Yep.
Isaiah 33:9. The earth mourneth and languisheth.
Mm-hmm.
Lebanon is ashamed and hewed down. Sharon is like a wilderness, and the Bashan and Carmel shake off their fruits.
Right. The earth languish under the inhabitants. So the ancient men sat all in the streets, not in nursing home, right? Not in nursing home. The old men sat in the streets. They all talked together, right? The people of age. Let's read it. This is the ancient men sat all in the streets, communing together of good things. And the young men put on glorious and warlike apparel. Right, so the old men of age, they communing, talking good things, having a good laugh, having some good conversations. In time of peace, that's what happened. Right now, our old men, even our young men, you know where they are right now? At the head of the street corners. So we reading about the time of peace, right? When things are peace, how it's like, how our people are like. But if you look at our condition right now, we know it's not time of peace. They lie at the head of the street corners. Right? All right. So now the ancient men sat all in the street, communing together of good things, and the young men put on glorious, and warlike apparel. Read that out in Isaiah. Your sons are fainted. They lie at the head of the street corners, right?
Isaiah 51 and 20.
Isaiah 51 and 20.
Isaiah 51 and 20. Thy sons have faded. They lie at the head of all the streets, as a wild bull in a net.
So now, if we want to see the evidence of it right now, wait until after class, go at the head of the street corners. You'll see it. You'll see a beer store in the corner. Even though it's cold out there, you see our people right there at the head of the street corners. Like wild bull on a net. But we're reading a good time right now where the old men, they sit, they communing with each other, they having some good conversation. And then the young men gear, you know, ready for anything, they ready for anything that can happen to us to defend us. They full of energy. Right now, you know what we're full of? We're full of fury of the Most High. As opposed to full of good energy. We're full of the fury of the Most High. And they ready to rumble right there at that corner. Kill each other right there in that corner right there. Beer in their hand, in the brown bag. That's the way it is. So now we know what time we're in. We're not the time of, our people are not in the time of peace. So this is a condition of peace right here we're reading about. Verse 10. He provided victuals for the cities. So he provided food for the city. You know what that means? Social services. Social services for the people. He provided victuals for the city. And set in them all manner of munition. At the same time, foods and guns. Right? Food and guns and materials, resources. You know why? Because that's the world we live in. You have it today, somebody gonna come in and try to rob what you got. Why? Because you are not in the kingdom yet. When you're in the kingdom, that cannot be done. But as long as you're here, whatever you have must be protected. Because you will be attacked. That's a given. You will be attacked. When you gather your goods, all goods must be protected. Right? He's a man of the Most High, but yet he's protecting what he gathered for the people because he know what kind of world you live in. That's the setup we live in. In this setup, you will be attacked. All goods must be protected. So that's why they protect Israel at any cost and they fight. You got to protect what you stand for in this world. In the kingdom, they're going to be done away with. But now you got to be protected. Most good must be protected. He provided victory for the city and set in them, right? At the same time, he then set in them all manner of munitions. You cannot have enough protection in this wicked system. And Esau knows that. With what they got guns. They have weapons. They have cases of them they lock up. Right? So now, you see what happened in, is it Texas? When the guy went and shoot up the church?
Yeah.
Somebody went in his chambers, he get his rifle, go out there. Right? Because they know with what you got to protect what you have. You would say they're in a place where it's so-called secure and good neighborhood. Nah. Everything you have in this kingdom will be attacked. So all goods must be protected. Whatever it is. Right? manner of munitions, so that his honorable name was renowned unto the end of the world. Now, another good thing also, protect your name at any cost. Protect what your everything must be, even if you lose everything, but your name cannot be replaced. Right? You're gonna get that? A good name?
Right now, a lot of names being tainted.
Right. So he did that to protect his name. That's wisdom. You got to protect your name. Renown. Name was renowned unto the end of the world. Imagine this man has a far vision, right? Hold on a second. He had a far vision. He understood that the Most High's world can never end. Even when he passed, the Most High's world is going to continue. And his name would be here today. Hence, we are reading about him today. He wanted to have his name renowned even after he done long past and gone. That's having far vision and having trust in the Most High, knowing that the Most High lasted everlasting to everlasting. His body died, decomposed, but the name gonna live forever. So he wanted to protect that at any cost. This is why we're reading about him and what he did to protect that name even unto today. That's having spiritual far vision and trust in the Most High that no matter what the Most High do, even to everlasting to everlasting, he's gonna make it happen. Right?
Proverbs 22 and 1.
Proverbs 22 and 1.
Proverbs 22 and 1. A good name is rather to be chosen than great riches, and love and favor rather than silver and gold.
Yep. The silver can pass, it can be stolen. Right? The silver can pass, it can be stolen, can go from one hand to the other. Your riches can be distributed to everybody, but your name can nobody take it. Your name will remain your name even after you're gone. Your name is what you got. Right? Name was renowned unto the end of the world, meaning all throughout. This man knew that this world was gonna be so vast now, populated everywhere to the end of the world. At that point, you can say, man, what this guy was thinking about. But right now, we're in the land of North, far away from where this guy grew up. We're reading this today. Right? Somebody somewhere else, way far, gonna be reading about this today. And his name is renowned up until today. See, people who say one life to live, they just don't understand. One life to live, you live and you die. Even after you die, your name's gonna be repeated, or it will be not even remembered as somebody who did anything. It just vanished in the thin air and nobody remember you anymore. This man always forever be remembered. Verse 10. He made peace in the land, and Israel rejoiced with great joy. So he made peace in the land, and Israel rejoiced with great joy. So among the things that we went through, captivity, it sounds good for him to be remembered in that way, that among what we're going through right now, peace is something that is hard to find. His name is among the people. While he was a governor, there was peace, and the people rejoiced in his time. For every man sat under his vine and his fig tree, and there was none to fray them. They're on their own vine tree. Nobody push them away. None make them afraid. So he had good security policies. But we know righteousness exalts a nation. He was doing this not of his own, but because of the keeping the law, statutes, and commandments. Injustice bring a nation down, but righteousness exalts the nation. Right, y'all, Conan? Get that? Righteousness exalts the nation. That's how the nation was exalted, through righteousness. Because he was righteous, he implemented all the good policies that's aligned with what a righteous governor should do. And everything flows. As we talked about last night, when things working accordingly with the law, our life flows. But when we are in not working in accordance with the Most High, our life is this chaos. We go out there in the world, we sin, your life seems to be flowing because you're in accordance with sin. Our life is in accordance with sin. And it seems like, life is easy. Much easier than those who are in the truth. Right? So every man sat under his vine and his fig tree, and there was none to fray them. Everyone, they sit under their fig tree, none to fray them. There you go.
Proverbs 14:34.
Proverbs 14:34.
Yeah. Proverbs 14:34. Righteousness exalted a nation, but sin is a reproach to any people.
Okay. There we have it. Righteousness is what exalted our nation at that time. Since things happen through people, Simon was the one there implementing the righteous actions. Verse 13. Neither was there any left in the land to fight against them. Yea, the kings themselves were overthrown in those days. Look at this. Nobody was left to fight against them. Even the king, they were overthrown. How did that happen? Righteousness.
Is we talking about righteousness? Ecclesiasticus 10:8. Because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one people to another.
Right. No stability. There's always an uproar. Somebody rise against somebody else. Unrighteous dealings. neither was there any left in the land to fight against them. Yea, the king themselves were overthrown in those days. Why? Because the Most High control all kings. Control all kings. Right? Sometimes we say this kingdom is Satan's kingdom, right? Because they're doing wickedness. But who really controls everything? The Most High. But is it really Satan's? Satan owns nothing. He's a deceiver. He will deceive you to make you think he owns something. And he can give you things, but he owns nothing. He had the nerve to try to lie to Yahusha and tell Yahusha everything's his. He can give it to him. You know, if he bow down. Liar.
Yeah, maybe bad, but the stuff he try to give him belongs to him. Belongs to
Right.
belongs to Christ.
Trying to sell your own water.
That's something.
Yeah, I mean, trying to sell Yahusha his own stuff.
His own stuff. Yeah, his own stuff.
You see how I deceive this guys? You know? And if you're not mindful, you might think that he owns something. He owns nothing. He just go around lie and deceive. Pretending that he owns things, but he owns nothing. He's just on the leash. The Most High is using him, but he's trying to fool you to make you think that he owns something.
But he got a lot of followers, though.
Of course, he deceived them. Yeah. He lies to them to the point where when you're in trouble, he can do nothing for you. That's when you realize, man, I've been deceived. That's how a lot of people who've been, deceived. Once they realize they were in some kind of problem, they don't see nobody come to rescue them. They're like, man, I gotta leave this thing alone, man. That thing is a fraud. Moreover, verse 14, moreover, he strengthened all those of his people that were brought low. So he strengthened the people that were brought low. To measure the strength of a nation is how they treat the poor people. That's how you measure the strength of a nation. How the poor people are being treated. People look out for the poor, the less fortunate, because even the Most High said, we will always have the poor among you. Even when you pick up your fruits, always leave some so that people can eat. That's social work. Right? You measure the strength of a nation by how they treat their less fortunate.
That's what read it.
Not by looking at the prominent one that's making money, how the poor people are being treated. So which means there's a balance. Even the poor, they're able to eat and have the necessities.
It's in Deuteronomy 15 and 7.
Deuteronomy
15 and 7.
15 and 7.
If there be among you a poor man of one of thy brethren within any of thy gates in the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee, thou shalt not harden thine heart, nor shut thine hand from thy poor brother, but thou shalt open thine hand wide unto him, and shalt surely lend him sufficient for his need in that which he wanted.
Right? Provide sufficient for a need if you want somebody in your nation. So this guy is putting the law into execution. Right? Because this right here is our constitution. Here's how you should treat people this time and the third. This is not just a book you come in holy, holy, and then you close it. Right? This is our constitution. You have that constitution, you rule nations with it. You rule your nation with it. Right? Then things will flow. So he strengthened, moreover, he strengthened all those of his people that were brought low. Again, you see how the poor people are being treated. You'll realize how strong the nation is. You look out for the people so that nobody is in need of necessity. Right? And you don't help them to cripple them. You help them because they are in need. And if they need to rise up, the structure and the tools are there if they want to rise up. Not providing, care to them, and then once they trying to rise up, and then you cut them off and you say, nah, now you can take care of your own. Just go ahead and we're not responsible for it. You got to guide them until they can get on their feet. Right? And they have a way over here. They said they are the richest country on earth. And the average income is about what, $50,000 to $55,000. That's not true. How many people don't have access to $55,000? Where do you get that average from? Where do you get that average from? You got to do it per parity, meaning it's not about average, because you might find a bunch of people. When you count all the people with money, you're gonna find that average. What about all the people that don't have that kind of money? Where did you see them to count all of them in to come up with that average? You gotta count everybody according to purchasing power parity, according to what you have to actually purchase goods and services. But when you base it on average, that's a sham. Right? That's not true calculation. Right? It's purchasing power parity. What you have, everybody, if you make $10,000, that's your purchasing power parity, not under the average of everybody, which is not true. Right? So this man, Simon, moreover, he strengthened all those of his people that were brought low. The law, he searched out, you see, and searching out the law, he knows how to put things into application. But look, the law he searched out, he did his research. Searched out, he did his research. He break it down. And every contemner of the law and wicked person, he took away. See? This man is no joke. He knows what he's doing. All the renegades and outlaws, he can take him out. No outlaws, because he knew the outlaws, they are an epidemic. Right? They are a virus that can spread, so take him out. That's how things flow. Right? Take those outlaws out, the renegades, take them out. He searched out the law. He knew exactly what to exalt a nation. Outlaw, you out. You're not part of this. Renegades, you out. You can't be part of this because I don't want you to mess up that program that I have going on here righteously.
Yeah.
Verse 15. He beautified the sanctuary and multiplied the vessels of the temple. He beautified the sanctuary. The sanctuary, that's where we go and get ourselves connected with the Most High. Right now, what's our sanctuary? The body you're in is that vessel. That vessel is that body you're in, that sanctuary. So you be beautified. Same way today, we got to beautify that body that we in righteously. Right? Put the good things in it, spiritual things. Right? We got a sanctuary and multiply the vessels of the temple. Right? Stuff that do service to the Most High, beautified. So who's responsible to do service for the Most High? Us. So it has to be in the condition to do service to the Most High. Last night we went into the promises. And also we got the services promised to the children of Israel. Right? We have the law, the covenant, the services of the Most High, the promises, all belong to Israel. So the services of the Most High, things that pertaining to do the service, beautify. Vessels, multiply. So we got to multiply the fruit of the Spirit so that we be in condition to do service to the Most High. Because we are the vessels. Right? Verse 16. Now when it was heard at Rome, and as far as Sparta, that Jonathan was dead, they were very sorry. So they knew about Jonathan's death all the way to Rome. That Tryphon killed Jonathan. So at that point, we established good relation with those countries. Right? Verse 17. But as soon as they heard that his brother Simon was made high priest in his stead and ruled the country and the city therein, they wrote unto him in tables of brass to renew the friendship and league which they had made with Judas and Jonathan, his brethren. So when they heard that and they know who got appointed, the person appointed in Jonathan's place was Simon, they wrote letters to renew the friendship that they had with Judas and Jonathan. So they renewed the same friendship with Simon. Which writing were read before the congregation at Jerusalem. So the writing was read at the congregation of Jerusalem because you got to give the people a report. At that point, it's all about the people. The people give you power, you return the power to the people in the form of services. And that's what he did. See, they give you power, they put you there, you return the power back to them in form of services, in form of what he did here. Right? Not to enrich himself, embellish himself in the position, but to return it back to him, to the people. Right? On your own.
In this society, they want to, ask you, are you Republican, Democrat, Independent? Which way do you stand? The people going to give you power, and you're going to help the people back again in this society.
Right.
That's how.
Now you see these people, they go up the hill. Once they get rich, they dissociate themselves with the people. Now they dealing strictly with the big wigs in DC. They don't care about the people. They only come back when election time. But when you're in a position of power, you're a righteous man, you understand where power comes from. The Most High gives you power through the people. They put you up there. You return it back to the people in terms of with services, good services, food, things that they need, security, right? Shelter, right? Clothes to put on. Make sure that things are working accordingly. So that's what this man did. You see, even in this world, when things are done righteously, nobody can stop it. It's like it's a current. You try to stop it, if it's going right, it's gonna knock you out. You're gonna get burned. Try to touch the electricity when it's on. Try to knock you out, dead. It's the same thing. When the righteousness vibration is flowing, all the wickedness, they were wiped out. Right? The Most High kept them far away. Right? Because it's a righteous vibration. It's the energy, it's the power. Right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's like this truth is going out there, you know, it's going out there and it's going out and it's going out. And the Most High, you know, word is going out and it's not going to come back to the void. You know, a lot of people waking up and put away that wicked, ungodly spirit and just going out there, you know.
Right, right. So, like you said, the Most High put His word out. There's gonna be a return. He put it out, and they gotta return to Him. He's not gonna. He put it out for a specific reason to get a result. So when the people put you into power, they want something back. They want some result back. They put you in power. They appointed you. Now it's time for you to go and give them back service. Not to take from them, you know, rob them, and they become worse off than they were before you even got in power.
Mm-hmm. And one more thing also is like Satan put his things out there too.
Well, he's a deceiver. I mean,
yeah, and he's just, you know, reaping the people, you know, pulling all this stuff from the people. He gives them little crumbs here and there, but he's reaping, you know, all that to himself. And he put that wickedness out there,
right?
Put it all out there, you know. But
right.
but the truth is going out there too. You can't stop it.
Right. Fine. Right. So the writing were read before the congregation. Verse 20, and this is a copy of the letters Macedonians with the city unto Simon the high priest and the elders and priests and residue of the people of the Jews. Our brethren send greeting. The ambassadors that were sent unto our people certify us of your glory and honor, wherefore we were glad of their coming, and did register the things that they spake in the council. So they went and gave speech according to what Simon sent them to register him with the League of Nations in Rome. Council of the people in this manner. Numenius, son of Antiochus, and Antipater, son of Jason, the Jews, ambassadors came unto us to renew the friendship they had with us. And keep in mind, since our people scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, it's a wise thing to make leagues with them, because your people can get persecuted in foreign land. But if you make good amity with those people, even your people will be treated differently even in the enemy's land. Right? It's not just where Judah was, you know, in the land of Jerusalem, but also for the people scattered abroad. It's good to make enmity for your people, even if they're not in your where most of your people got, right? To protect your people, and this is a wise thing to do, right? That's why you call foreign relation, right? Foreign relations, diplomacy. It says, and did register the things that they spake in the council of the people in this manner. Numenius, sons of Antiochus, and Antipater, son of Jason, the Jews, ambassadors, came unto us to renew the friendship they had with us. And it pleased the people to entertain the men honorably, and to put the copy of their embassage in public record. Right? So they were pleased to receive them and hear their deposition and what they had to say according to the friendship that they wanted to establish. And on that day, when they came, they registered everything and put it into public record so that people can come and see that treaty that is signed with the friend, with the people in the council. On y'all can. Mm-hmm.
That's what comes from Christ said, so things can be good, that things can be good with our people. Like Romans 12 and 18.
Mm-hmm.
It says, if it be possible, as much as lies in you, live peaceably with all men.
Right. And keep in mind, it goes a long way. Remember what we said earlier? Whenever we do something, it affects other people. If I do something, they look at me as a black man that do something. The next time they may treat somebody of me, so-called black man, that do this, they're going to treat the next person that has nothing to do with what I did. They're going to treat them according to what I did. Right? So what we do affects other people. Right? Especially us. Right? We are connected somehow because we are of the nation of Israel connected. We all are a family. Right? We are a distant family that is grown so big, we become like the center of the sea. But we are connected, and our action affects the other person. Right? If we see it like that as a big, huge family that disconnected, through expansion, then you really see how we are related to Yahusha, we related to Moses, related to John, related to Jeremiah, related to Isaiah, and so on and so forth. Right? Through expansion in time, the family just dispersed and expanded and become big like the center of the sea. Right? So every time we do something, one of us do something, it affects the other people. So if you make a good action when you're in government, it will help other people in ways that you probably wouldn't even imagine. You may not see it, but it's there. It's an effect. Right? So that's the thing. That's the big thing dealing with exponential growth. Like you all connected, but you cannot see the connection because it's so vast. Right? But if we come understanding how the spirit operates and how we are a nation, you'll see the connection is all there in all tribes, of our people. Right? Bringing the friendship they had with us, and it pleased the people to entertain the men honorably and to put the copy of their embassage in public records. To the end the people of the Lacedaemonians might have a memorial thereof. Furthermore, we have written a copy thereof unto Simon the high priest. After this, Simon sent Numenius to Rome with a great shear of gold. So this man, he never failed, to give good gifts, right? Of gold, of 1,000-pound weight. Don't play around, He doesn't play around. He really used the power of giving gifts, right? Wait, to confirm the league with them. It's not just papers, right? It's not just papers and writing, but he has to put an added, benefit to it. Boom. He gave him a shield of gold of 1,000-pound weight. 1,000-pound weight. Right? Somebody was generous like that, you'll go a long way. Right? Because you'll win hearts of kings. And that's exactly what happened for the benefit of your people. Right? A gift destroyeth the heart. To confirm the league with them. Whereof, when the people heard, they said, what thanks shall we give to Simon and his sons? So now they don't know how to thank him. Right? Y'all
That's about $20 million.
Man.
It was as an ounce of gold.
In today's time, right? In today's conversion.
Because about ounce of gold is about $1,300.
In today's time, yeah.
16 ounces. 1 pound, about a lot of money.
It's a lot of money. It's a lot of worth, value. Right? He said something of value. You know why? Yeah, those men. Those are the things that the heathen seek for. Right? That's the other thing to see. So he hate them with what they're seeking for. The heathen, they look after these things. So he hate them with what they look for. Right? It's nothing to him to give it, because the benefit that he's gonna get for his people is way greater than that. Right? The peace that you're gonna get, being able, when you multiply it to all the people that's gonna benefit from it, it's a no-brainer. See, that's why you see a lot of big companies, they spend millions and millions of dollars buying, this company or that company. They either see a threat that this company might disrupt their profit in the long run, so they take you out, or they see how you can be benefit to them, to benefit their top and bottom line. So they will pay. Sometimes say, man, why would they pay so much money for that? They already done their studies, and they know if you stay around, either you become very disruptive. Either way, you're gonna, put a dent in their profit margin. So they take you out before you become big. Now they buy you out before you become big. Right? If they cannot take you out of business, but they'll buy you out, and if they see a benefit. And in this kingdom, if you don't want to sell, they find a way to frame you. Right? If you're trying to be you're trying to play hardball, they find a way to take you down by any means necessary. Right? But this man right here, Simon, our brother, he pretty much knew how to play the game. Right? Because the Most High taught him, instruct them through the law how to play the game, with the Spirit guiding his steps. 26. For he and his brethren in the house of his father have established Israel. So now Israel become established. Right? We are not like a third world country. We become an established nation. Right? We have a word now, and we got friendship. Right? We have stability. Again, stability is the number one, to start making progress. Instability in anything. If there's no stability in the home, it's hard for you to focus on doing positive things. If there's constant fighting going on, it's hard for your mind to focus on doing, moving forward, because you're constantly trying to put fire out. You're constantly focusing on putting fire out, and it takes time and energy to keep putting fire out, trying to clean up things. But when everything is smooth, Everything is at peace. Now, okay, what's the next thing to do now? Let's try to do this. Let's move into that. Let's move into this. All right, let's do this. That's profitable. Let's do this. So now everybody's moving accordingly, right? So now Israel become established and chase away and fight their enemies from them and confirm their liberty, freedom. They confirm their freedom. Now we have become a free state. When was the last time that happens to us? Right now we constantly chasing everything. Right? We're chasing everything now, right? Chasing the bill collector, right? Chasing, chasing the bill collector, not picking up the phone when the credit card company come, dodging and all that stuff, right? Trying to make deals so they don't come cut your electricity bills, we got hit on every side, you know what I mean? Trying to rub a dollar to make, trying to 50 cents, to make a dollar. They put this there, trying to fight to keep our economy going. Right? Our economy is shot. Yeah, so you're trying to keep up. See, right here, we confirm our liberty. Our land to, give us the fruit. The people in the street, the old people, they relaxing. We have security. We have food being protected by, ammunition. And then we have League of Nations. All that is done through keeping the law, statutes, and commandments. There's going to be a time that's going to happen. But all these things that we are experiencing right now is a learning lesson. Right? So that when we get to enjoy it, we'll get to appreciate it. And man, look how far I've come from. So that's the benefit of serving now in this time and going through what we're going through right now. Right? Verse 27. So then they wrote it in tables of brass, which they set upon pillars in Mount Sion. And this is the copy of the writing. The 18th day of the month, Elul, in the 112th year, being the 3rd year of Simon the high priest, at Saramel, in the great congregation of the priests and people and rulers of the nation and elders of the country, were these things notified unto us. For as much as oftentimes there have been wars in the country, wherein for the maintenance of their sanctuary, Simon the son of Mattathias, of the posterity of Jorab, together with his brethren, put themselves in jeopardy in resisting the enemies of their nation, did their nation great honor. See, that what an opening, right? What an opening. So in just this opening right there covers pretty much the essence of why he was fighting and what his family was fighting for. It's pretty much we fighting to keep our laws, to keep our ways according to the Most High's, want us to clean our sanctuary, to keep it from pollution, right? With that, he put his life in jeopardy along with his brethren that put their lives in jeopardy. So he pretty much did that, right? And fight the other nation. In return, he becomes an honorable man, right, in the nation. Verse 30. For after that, Jonathan, having gathered his nation together and been their high priest, was added to his people. Their enemies purposed to invade their country, that they might destroy it, and lay hand on the sanctuary, at which time Simon rose up and fought for his nation, and spent much of his own substance. So now he spent much of his own substance, right? So he pretty much invests not only his soul, body, but he invests whatever he had, resource-wise. He invests everything. Yeah, he gave his all, right? And spent much of his own substance and armed the valiant men of his nation and gave them wages. See that? Not only they fight, given that those men, they have families too, right? While they fighting, he had to provide for them and give them a pay wage. So he devised ways to make the resources work according to the good knowledge that the Most High bless him with, and the Most High makes his hand prosper, right? He gave them wages and fortified the city of Judea together with Bethsaida that lieth upon the borders of Judea, where the armor of the enemy had been before. But he set a garrison of the Jews. And one thing that I realized about Israel, we can live with whatever we get so long that we are being treated right. We understood, let's say if you with somebody, you know they don't have much resources, we ready to work. As long as you give us something and you treat us right, we'll work. Right? And that's how they take advantage of us in slavery. Now, even to the point where if we were treated good with master will let us go. We say, no, we're not going. We'll stay. Right? As long as we were treating somewhat fair, we will stay. We don't want to. We don't want to go because we are that kind of people. All we need is to be treated fairly. Right? So that's what he did with what he has. He made sure that he create wages and take care of the people. Along with that, they fight, with all energy, and they give their all. Right? All right, so it says on the Annas in verse 32 now. At which time Simon rose up and fought for his nation and spent much of his own substance and armed of his nation and gave them wages and fortified the city of Judea together with Bethsaida that lieth upon the borders of Judea, where the armor of the enemies had been before. But he set a garrison of Jews there. Moreover, he fortified Joppa, which lieth upon the sea, in Gazara, that border upon Azotus, where the enemy had dwelt before. But he placed Jews there and furnished them with all things convenient for the reparation thereof. So he put Jews there and gave them the tools, materials to function and get things going, right? Get the seaport going, organized, right? Organize and make sure that things are ready for the purpose. It's not just he just put him there. He had a plan. He put him there and give him materials, give him tools to work with, and let's get things going. So he fortified Joppa, used Joppa as a port, enlarged the city. Verse 35. The people therefore seeing the acts of Simon, and unto what glory he thought to bring his nation, made him their governor and chief priest, because he had done all these things. And for the justice and faith which he kept to his nation, and for that he sought by all means to exalt his people. Right? He sought by all means to exalt his people. Make sure that his people are well represented wherever they are. Right? He made sure his people are well represented wherever they are. For in this time things prosper in his hand, so that the heathen were taken out of their country, and they also that were in the city of David and Jerusalem, who had made themselves a tower, out of which they issue and polluted all about the sanctuary. And he did much hurt in the holy place, right? And did much hurt in the holy place of the people, that is, that polluted the sanctuary. But he placed Jews therein and fortified it for the safety of the country, raise up the walls of Jerusalem. King Demetrius also confirmed him in the high priesthood according to those things, and made him one of his friends with great honor. For he had heard say that the Romans had called the Jews their friends and confederate and brethren, and that they had entertained the ambassadors of Simon honorably. Also, that the Jews and priests were well pleased that Simon should be their governor and high priest forever, until there should arise a faithful prophet. Moreover, that he should be their captain and should take charge of the sanctuary, to set them over their works and over the country and over the armor and over the fortresses. That I say, he should take charge of the sanctuary. Besides this, that he should be obey the writings in the country should be made in his name, and that he should be clothed in purple. Clothed in purple. There you go, right there. Royalty, right? Purple. Royalty. Royalty, rich and luxurious. That's what purple stands for. And it's also a hard color to come up with, to make.
Purple.
It's rare. Right? Thus is purple, or wear a buckle of gold. Right? Stand out. A buckle of gold. And whosoever should do otherwise or break any of these things, he should be punished. Thus, it like all the people to deal with Simon, and to do as have been said. Then Simon accepted thereof, and was well pleased to the high priest and captain and governor of the Jews and priests, and to defend them all. So they commanded that this writing should be put in tables of brass, and that they should be set up within the compass of the sanctuary in a conspicuous place, visible place. Also, that the copies thereof should be laid up in the treasury, to the end that Simon and his son might have them. So his goal is accomplished of becoming a renowned person in Israel. That goal was accomplished based on righteous deed. Right? So we read chapter 13, 14. You have any scripture, y'all, Kanan? Are you aware what we're reading for next Sabbath? Daniel 4. What happened? All right. So that would conclude the Sabbath service. Did you have it, Yaukan? No? What chapter and verse? All right. Next Sabbath, Leviticus 5 and 6 for next Sabbath reading. So stay tuned for the closing prayer, brothers and sisters. All right, someone get the blind. Barakata Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua Ashura Natananawa Par Yagaban Dwara Aman La Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua Af Yasha. English translation. Bless our Yahweh in the name of Yahushua that gives to us the fruit of the vine. That gives us the fruit of the vine. Thank you, so be it. To Yahweh in the name of Yahushua with Israel. I madwa upon you, Jerusalem, stand in face, Jerusalem. Repeat the only. Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Babakushai, Shemai, Lanawa, Aitha, Yamyun, Aitha, Shalak, Micah Allah, Wala Alahayim, Latazawadakim, Shemo Ayo, Barak, Rapa, Magan, Wakaziyak, Banya, Yasha Allah,
Yasha'Allah,
Washalak,
Washalak,
Lanawa,
Now,
Rabium,
Rabi,
Kakama,
Akama,
Rabium,
Rabi,
Da'if,
Da'ai,
Rabium,
Rabi,
Bayana,
Bayana,
Rabium,
Rabi,
Sabalanwa,
Sabalon,
Rabium,
Rabi,
Ama 1,
Amawan,
Rabium,
Rabi,
Aqua, Rabium,
uh,
Ahabium,
Ahabi,
Rabium,
Rabi,
Agana,
Akana,
Wakanaya,
Wakanai,
Wasalat,
Wasalah,
Kal,
Ka,
Katayamna, La Akim,
Rabi,
Wayasha Allah,
Yasha'Allah,
Tumyad, Wayulam,
Wabilam,
Basham,
Wabishim,
Yahaushai,
Yahweh,
Tawada, Amun. English translation. Yahweh, in the name of Yahushai, please listen to us now, right now. Send Michael and the righteous powers and angels to watch over, bless, heal, protect, and make strong the children of Israel. And send to us much wisdom, much knowledge, much understanding of, much patience, much faith, much brotherhood, much love, much spiritual protection. And forgive us all our sins for the brothers and sisters in Israel. Most High, we beg you right now, like the days of, forgive us all our sins for the brothers and sisters in Israel. Always and forever, in the name of Yahushai. Thank you, so be it. Four corners prayer. Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Ba'asham,
Bashim,
Yahushai,
Yahushua,
Barak Nawa,
Barak, Now,
Wayasha Allah,
Yasha'Allah,
Ubafi Sapayim,
Righteous Support,
Shema,
My,
Yashu Allah,
Yasha'Allah,
Yahweh, Allah Hayanawa, Yahweh, Achad. Okay, English translation, Yahweh, in the name of Yahushai, bless us in the house of books. Hear, O Israel, Yahweh, our power, Yahweh is one power. All right. All right, Shalom, Israel. Have a blessed week. Enjoy the rest of the Sabbath. All right, may the Most High protect and bless you always. Peace. And brothers, circle up. Shalom.